You know, my next guest is Ian Heinisch. He's got a huge fight coming up here against Kelvin Gastelum at UFC 258 on February 13th. Ian, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Blessed to wake up every day.
Absolutely. And I know you had a good holiday. We were just talking off air. You got to go to your wife's ranch in Nebraska. You got to go to the mountains. Mm-hmm. Sounded like a pretty good holiday season compared to a lot of people. It sounds like you really planned it out well.
Yeah. I mean, just spending time with family, no matter where it's at, is awesome. And it's even better when it's in the mountains in a beautiful location or in my wife's beautiful ranch in Nebraska. So it was a good time, man.
I know at the end of the year you were looking to fight. Things did not end up happening that way, but it's very rare to go from one opponent to a better opponent. And this is nothing against Brendan Allen, but Kelvin Gastelum is a pretty big name in that division. How surprised were you to get this matchup? Because this is a huge fight for you.
You know, I wasn't really too surprised because just the way that things been going in the division, people are jumping forward. You know, opportunity when it comes knocking, whoever's ready is getting that opportunity. And you know, just seeing like with Holland getting that shot with Hermanson, and then obviously he getting the COVID. Then he got Jacare and Vittori. I mean, these guys are all were behind me and they're jumping forward. So, you know, I wasn't surprised at all. You know, and I'll be ready for the opportunity. And when Jason called me, I was actually in Mexico, and I was like, oh yeah, let's go. That's a great fight, and I'm excited for the opportunity, man. We're going to put on a good show, and I'm excited. Like last year was Hurricane 2.0. The fans only got to see about a minute and 15 seconds of that because I only got one fight due to, you know, obviously COVID. But this year is the Hurricane 3.0, and I'm excited to showcase, man. I've grown so much.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. You referenced getting COVID there. We won't get too much into that, but how are the symptoms? Because I know it affects everyone a little bit differently.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I got... You know, it was flu-like symptoms. You know, it was crazy. It came like before weigh-ins. The weight cut was a little bit harder, I noticed. I drank like 2 gallons of water. I made weight at like 9 a.m. and I didn't even go to the bathroom. I couldn't even take a pee before like 5 o'clock. So my body was like holding on to it. And but I mean, it was a flu, 2 or 3 days down, got a steroid pack, bounced me right back. I've had, you know, worse hangovers and worse flus before than that. So, you know, it affects everyone different, like you said, but it wasn't, you know, too bad.
Were you surprised to see Brennan lose the way he did to Sean Strickland? I mean, Strickland's looked great at 185, but I think Brennan was actually the favorite heading into that fight.
Yeah, no, not really, man. I've trained with Sean. I was training with him at Extreme a little bit, and he's a tough dude, and I knew that was a bad fight for Brennan because he's a hard guy to take down. And, you know, Sean, nothing to take away against Sean. He had a great performance, but I felt like, you know, Brennan obviously couldn't fight me in 2 weeks. Hold on. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Popular guy.
Brennan couldn't fight me in 2 weeks because he was busy apparently. But, you know, he got to fight Sean Strickland. And then when I seen Sean knock him out like that and get the 50 Gs, I was super happy for Sean and his performance. But at the same time, I was like, man, that's my knockout, you know, and but, you know, like you said, everything happens for a reason. And now, you know, I got this huge opportunity in front of me.
Kelvin Gastelum, how do you feel like you match up against him here? He's pretty well-rounded, but obviously a lot of pressure on him coming into this fight off the losing streak.
Yeah, you know, I'm expecting the best Kelvin Gastelum. You know, he's got, you know, dropping 3 losses and his back's against the wall. And, you know, he's going to be fighting like crazy. So I'm ready for it. And, you know, I feel like his weakness is kind of bigger, stronger wrestlers. And, you know, I'm going to make it super high pace and test his gas tank a little bit, make it, you know, grind him out and look for that finish on the feet or on the ground.
Any concerns about him missing weight? Just because, I mean, I think he's made weight his last couple fights, but it's been sort of a thing that's been looming over him most of his career.
Man, I would love for guys to miss weight against me, honestly. I get more money and, you know, a few pounds, whatever, and that kind of breaks them a little bit mentally. So, you know, if it happens, you know, I'm expecting he pushed the fight back 2 weeks. I'm assuming it was because of weight cut issues. I don't know that, but just my intuition tells me that. But, you know, if he makes weight, that's great. If he doesn't, good for me. I get, you know, 30% of his purse, and I know he's got a big one. So I'll be happy either way, and it doesn't concern me at all.
Remind me, when was this fight initially scheduled for? I was trying to remember because they did shuffle a couple cards because of the Hamzat Chimaev fight, and they did a couple things. When was this fight originally booked?
It was booked January 30th. So
because I don't think they're even doing a card on the 30th. So I don't know if that was necessarily a weight cut thing for him. I think they actually moved all the fighters from that card to different cards because there's no. If you look on Tapology right now, there's no January 30th card. So.
I think it was even before that, though, to be honest.
Oh, really? Okay, well, good. That's why I'm glad talking to you, getting some insight there, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it was injury, so maybe he had a little injury that needed a few more weeks. So, or he went to the PI and they said it's not going to look good for making weight. Who knows? That's not for. Sorry about that again.
No worries. Again, you're a popular guy. I don't take any offense to it. It's all good. What's training camp looking like right now? Because I know I know you spent some time in Vegas last year. I know you're back in Colorado. It's sort of another gym you've been working at. Where are you right now? What are you doing in terms of camp?
So I kind of went back to the COVID training camp that I had here in Colorado. And I'm back with Coach Jake. I actually never left Coach Jake. I'm back with Coach Peter, cross training with I'm at Genesis, but I'm cross-training with Team Elevation, and we got a great group of guys, and training at Landau Performance, and getting a ton of good work. We had Drew Dober in the other day sparring with me. He's a really good look for Gastelum. Chris Camosi's joined the team with us, and no, it's been great. I really loved Extreme Couture, but I felt like the bouncing back and forth was just kind of took a toll on my immune system, which maybe that's why, I maybe caught COVID. I don't know. But for this camp, I just feel like it's good to just settle down in Denver, and then we'll see where I go after this. Maybe check out Florida or, we'll see. Wherever God leads me, man. I'm really open. If Thailand opens up, that's,
I know that was the goal, right? Is to go to Thailand, but with all this COVID stuff, it's tough to travel right now, right? So.
Well, yeah, it's just a 2-week quarantine in the hotel that they, it's a chunk of change to quarantine, and who's got 2 weeks to just kind of lose? That's hard. Every time you want to go home, you got to sit in a hotel for 2 weeks. That's kind of not really convenient for me right now and my family. So, but yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm here. I'm dialed in with this camp. This is the camp I used for when I knocked out Mearshart. So. I'm growing. I grew in Extreme Couture. They helped me out a lot. And the Hurricane 3.0, like I said, 2021 is going to be an active, exciting year for the Hurricane. And
there's a lot of fighters competing coming up anyways at Team Elevation. You've got, Drew Dober, like you said. You've got Neil Magny in that main event next Wednesday. You've got, I know Kamaru Usman's there as well. Like, who have you had a chance to work with over there?
I just I do my jiu-jitsu. I cross-train with them. And I went over there I've only went over there once for sparring so far in this camp, and we bring some guys over to our sparring. I got to train with Magny, and me and Cory had our hard lactate power at Landau Performance today, so just nice to rub elbows with him. And because we kind of came up in the LFA, we were kind of joking today, like, hey, we fought like almost on every single LFA card together, and then the UFC's been pretty close, and he's actually fighting the week before me, so. Excited for him to show out. And but like I said, we got good guys. We got a lot of Bellator guys and some PFL guys at Genesis. And like I said, we brought Drew Dober over. We kind of, Kelvin's a unique style, so we got to find the right guys. He's shorter. He's explosive. He's a great striker. So Drew's a perfect fit for that right now.
Very cool. So who would you say are some of your main training partners over there? Like in terms of like regular partners, not necessarily at Elevation, but who do you mainly get to work with at Genesis?
Grant Neal, who's
awesome,
in Bellator, and Sean Choice has actually been coming in a lot. He's a Glory kickboxer. He's done a bunch of MMA as well, but it's been good. He's a southpaw. He's a good look on the striking. And like I said, Chris Camosi's recently joined our team. My other buddy Nick, he just got signed with PFL. He's from Florida. I don't even know his last name, but we wrestled together in Florida at a early age in high school, actually. And Andrew Capel over at Easton when we're training over there, and a few other guys. So we're getting some good work. Anthony Adams as well. So we're getting good work. We got a lot of guys. The coaching is phenomenal, and training partners are exactly what I need. Good for you, man. That's awesome. And when you say Cory, do you mean Cory Sandhagen? Yeah. Yeah. Really? Okay, because Cory's a bantamweight. That's why I was a little bit confused. But sure. That's cool. He's a big guy, though, for that weight class, for sure. He should almost be a featherweight. Yeah, no, and we're not MMA training. It's just good to rub elbows with him at strength and conditioning today. So we're kind of on the same schedule. So, we have that mentality of just pushing each other there. But yeah, we're not close to the same size, so we're not really training together. Even Drew's a little bit lower down, but at the same time, Drew's a little big right now, so he's making his way back down to his weight class. But he's a good look for now for me.
Good stuff. How's the weight cut going?
Oh, it's going good, man. I don't really concern myself with it too much.
Still no sugar. I always ask every interview. You off sugar right now?
Yeah. Well, actually, I cut it out last week.
Okay.
I think last weekend. So it's been about a week and a half now, and it was rough, bro. The first 3 days, I came into practice. It was like a funny quote. I was telling Nick, I was like, "Yeah, man, I actually binged out on sugar before I quit." And he's like, "Well, you don't go to rehab sober, do you?"
Yeah.
And the sugar's done. Feeling a lot better. Just gotta, eating a lot of food, man. It's a job eating as much food as we have to with all the training sessions we do. And but I'm feeling a lot better getting off the sugar.
You're mainly doing paleo, right? Because I actually do every January. I go paleo for a month. I always do that because after the holidays, when you're eating all that crap, it's good to kind of reset the body a little bit. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, paleo, and I like to say paleo is more of a lifestyle than a diet because you can maintain that forever.
Yeah.
It's just no processed foods. It's meat, vegetables, and a little bit of fruit. And the only sugar that you actually do is natural, which is agave, maple syrup. It doesn't spike the glycemic index too high like cane sugar or refined sugar does. So you feel a lot better.
That's always the problem I had with keto is that, like, if you don't have any sugar at all, like, you're going to eventually have it unless you really want to cut it out, but then you're at a ketosis, right? So it's tough to, like, do that. That's why I like paleo better. Paleo has always been my go-to. So anyways, don't want to bore my audience with nutrition stuff. Your corner, who's going to be in there with you on February 13th?
So Jacob Ramos from Genesis, Peter Straub from Team Elevation, and then I'm actually bringing my dad in.
Oh,
he was
awesome.
supposed to corner me. Yeah, he was supposed to corner me for my last fight, and obviously it fell through. But it's always been something that I've wanted to do, and I know it's been his dream to be able to do it as well. So I'm excited for that.
How's this fight playing out on February 13th?
2 ways. Either I'm going to clip him early, and it's just going to be a short night. Maybe clip him and jump into a submission, or I'm going to have to grind him and get Gastelum tired. And but either way, I don't see this fight going the distance. So that's all I can really say.
A win here. Gastelum was, very close to winning that interim title when he fought Adesanya. He actually dropped him in that fight. He's on a bit of a skid now. Still, I think a win over him holds a lot of weight and kind of puts you in that contenders talk. Do you feel the same way, or do you think you need a few more?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big step for me. Get myself in the top 10, win in spectacular fashion is always the goal. Get that finish, and yeah, I think I need to keep fighting some of the guys around there and just keep proving myself as 2021 goes on, and towards the end of the year, be in serious talks about fighting for that belt. That's my goals. That's my vision, and that's what's going to happen.
Israel Adesanya moving up to fight Blachowicz. Do you like that? Do you think that's good for Adesanya? I'm sure. Well, it's great for Adesanya, obviously, but do you think it kind of stalls up the division a bit because you got Glover at light heavyweight, and you've got Whitaker who just won 2 fights now. He's kind of waiting around. Do you think it makes sense, or do you think it's one of those things they might have should have waited on?
I mean, if I was there right now in the contender spot, I would be very upset with that because obviously, like you said, it stalls the division. But for me right now, it doesn't really matter. I want Israel to keep winning. I want to be the first guy to beat him. I think that would, put a stamp on my legacy. And, so right now it doesn't matter to me. But, yeah, I'm sure it's frustrating for the top 5 guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. Ian, thanks so much for the time, man. I can't wait for this fight. It's going to be here before we know it. UFC 258, February 13th. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media? I know you got sponsors. Hopefully you got the list today. If not, I know you posted on your social media. But what do you got here as far as the last word?
Yeah, man, tune in. Like I said, UFC 258, you're going to see not the Hurricane 2.0, the Hurricane 3.0. This is the new me, new year. You got to see just a minute and 15 seconds of it last year. This year I'm going to shock the division. People are going to know my name. And just shout out to my coaches, Peter Straub, Coach Clem, who I've been working with at Pound for Pound, a Muay Thai guy, very well rounded Muay Thai coach, and with good boxing and just really helping me out. Coach Jacob Ramos, my head coach, Landau Performance, helping my cardio, and strength. And yeah, I created a new website, guys. I got some shirts dropping. This is the last week for pre-orders, so check that out. It's on my bio and my Instagram. Give me a follow. Buy a shirt if you want. Give me some support there, and all my sponsors are on there as well. And anyone else looking to support an up and coming rising star, hit me up on the DM. And I appreciate you, James, and tune in, everyone. Pay-per-view.